Yeah, definitely. We got a chance to compete at home one more time in a dual meet format against Snow College, a first year program out of Richfield, Utah. So, yeah, I kind of have a soft spot for those first year programs because it was only 4 seasons ago that we were that first year program. So, having an opportunity to compete, get some extra matches in was fantastic. We had a great evening of matches. The girls did really well on attacking, finding ways to score. I think we only ended up losing 2 of the 20 some odd matches. Even in those matches lost, like we were out there trying to score points, and that's kind of been the main focus this year, scoring points as much as possible.
And then, looking ahead to this week, you can get 5 duels, and I know you kind of have a nice little star next to that Simon Fraser one. What can you expect this weekend, and talk about a couple of your opponents maybe?
This weekend's a great opportunity for us to compete. The Desert Duals in Las Vegas, right? I was looking at it today. 5 of the top 20 teams are going to be there with Colorado Mesa, Shriner, Tiffin, Simon Fraser. So it's a great opportunity for us to compete. I do have a star against Simon Fraser, right? It's a program that has a lot of history in women's wrestling dating back to the early 2000s, one of the first, if you will, 10, 15 programs that had a women's collegiate program. Since Colorado Mesa has been a program in 2018, Simon Fraser has finished no less than 3rd at the national tournament, minus the year 2020 when they didn't attend the national tournament for COVID. So that's a good one. I'm really excited about that. Coach Abdu always has a great team. I know there's times where he's like, we're not going to be good, but I always know they're going to be good. So it's a great one to chalk up for us. Great regional opponent. Excited about Tiffin, right? They're on the East Coast in Ohio. We don't generally get to see those teams very often, so them to come out the West is fantastic, right? They have a pretty solid 101-pound girl who was a national champ last year. They have a really solid 109-pound girl, a freshman from Nevada, so she gets to wrestle at home a little bit, so that'll be an exciting matchup for us. But mostly just focused on, we're just going to go out and perform. This is a great tune-up for us to get ready for national duels in January, see where we're at as a team and as a lineup, and we've done really well in duels this year. I think we have a lot of firepower in the sense that we're scoring a lot of bonus points with technical falls and getting the pins and matches that we need.
And it's kind of been a question we've had with each team, especially the 2 basketball teams just right before you guys. How important will it be, to head into the break, the NCAA break, with a win or 5 wins potentially for you guys heading into that break?
I think it's great to finish off with, success at the end of a semester, right? Not only are we performing in the classroom and doing really well there, right? We get that satisfaction of hitting that last final tomorrow on Thursday. We get on the road Friday, finish up on Sunday wrestling. It's like a great way to lead into that, right? We come off a high note going into the week and a half of training going into national duels. So having those wins or losses, really, right? But we go to win, right? That's what we want to do. We want to win, but really the focus is always about performing at our best, wrestling hard for 6 minutes every time we step on the mat.
And then for you two, how don't want to look past this weekend, but how are you guys going to spend the break? Kind of on 2 different levels right now. Marissa, for you, you're undefeated right now. We could throw out all the accolades right now, but how are you going to treat the break? And Jen, how are you going to treat the break with, just the history of injuries in the past and getting healed up?
So for me, focus is this weekend, wrestle my best matches, have some good, tough opponents. I will have another ranked opponent. That'll be good. Just to get a tough competition. And then after that, leading into the break, I'm going to spend it with family, I've come from a family. There's 7 of us. I'm the oldest of 7. So I'm going to hang out with my family. And then I'm also going to get some training in, too. One of my club teams is having a Christmas Eve practice, and it's for all the alumni there that's now in college. And some of those are really good athletes, including, Ryan Deegan, who's now a D1 NCAA champion. And we're all just going to, meet, have fun, roll around, things like that. So I'll also probably hop in some of these high school practices, roll with a partner of my choice. I might bring one of my teammates that's also from Denver to get a workout in. But for the most part, it's going to be rest and family time and just to unwind and take hot baths.
Mine's kind of similar to Marissa's. When I go home, I plan to spend it with family. I come from a big family also. I have 6 siblings, so I'm going to spend a lot of time with them. I also like to prioritize rehab during time off, especially with my injuries. I want to recover well, and I want to feel good. I'll also train a little bit too. That way, like, I come back feeling refreshed and I'm ready to go.
Questions?
So going into this weekend with, is it five duels? I mean, it's a grueling day, but it's also one that I think, especially the two of you probably look forward to, because let's face it, a lot of your matches don't last very long. And you get out there, but you get some good competition all in one day. How do you guys kind of take the mindset into that, coming off finals and everything else going on? Is it just more of a release once you get out on the mat?
I feel like for me, like managing like the snow college duel, that was my finals week. I feel like I only had like 2 finals this week. One of them was a presentation, one of them was an actual final test. So I think last week was a little bit harder to manage, but like at the end of the day, once my finals are done and I'm able to wrestle, it's just wrestling. That's the fun part. School's the hard part. So really going into this weekend, it's gonna be nice to not have homework to do after a tournament, or I try not to do a ton of homework before the tournament because I feel like I just feel tired and exhausted. So I usually save it for after. It's kind of procrastinating, but it's kind of like what makes me feel best. So it'll be nice to just relax at the end of the day and just be able to have fun and wrestle.
So I'm taking my last final tonight, actually, at 5:30. So I'll be done with finals after today. And I kind of just get to focus on wrestling. But I'm really excited going into this weekend. Having a lot of matches is exciting for me. I think just having last year off, I get really excited about every single opportunity I have to compete. So I'm just excited to go out there and get matches against some of the best girls.
And then when you come back, it's for, 3 weeks maybe, all you have. You can just focus on wrestling. Is that even better? Because you don't have to deal with classes and schoolwork and everything else, and you can get some rehab in and some rest along with the training?
Yeah, I think that's like the most important part for Jen and I. We're a little bit more of the older athletes, I guess. And our bodies have been through a lot, so I think being able to just be an athlete for those 3 weeks is great for us to do rehab. For me, I do a lot of yoga, so I'll get to go to more yoga, relax, and wrestling is wrestling. It's fun, but it just gives us more times to take care of our bodies and to take care of our mental and check in with ourselves.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really great to just be able to focus on wrestling. I also think we take a lot of time to bond with our teammates during that time because we don't have classes and other things going on, and sometimes, we'll go out and do something fun, and it's always a good time.
Just listening to you guys, it just seems like, from what I'm hearing, it just doesn't sound like you're really taking a break. Like, everything is wrestling. I mean, is there 3 days in a row that you don't do anything as far as no exercise and no training?
I feel like for me, probably not. Maybe one day for sure, 2 days maybe, but definitely never 3 days in a row. I feel like once it's 3 days, I start feeling like I'm out of shape, or maybe I'm not actually out of shape, but it makes me feel as if I would be. So I always feel like doing a little bit every day is good. Even on the rest days, I feel like that's a time to do rehab. That's a time to do yoga. It's a time to relax and spend time with your family too, but or just get your steps in. But for me, like, little bits throughout the break is what makes the difference. I feel like even if it's just an hour with someone, that's a lot better than 2 hours during the break. I think during the break, it's time to rest, but it's time to like dial in on what do you think you need to work on, and do you have a partner? And for me, it's a good time to see all of the wrestlers I grew up wrestling with, and we'll roll around, we'll pick each other's brains, we'll ask questions. It's fun.
I feel kind of similar to Marissa. I don't really like to take 3 full days off in a row just because I do kind of start to feel out of shape. But I think even on my rest days, like, I'll come in and do rehab, or I'll do like active recovery. I'll make sure that I'm at least doing a little bit of something. That way I'm not just taking 3 full days of just laying in bed, doing nothing.
All right, question of the week.
All right, you guys, Christmas coming up in a week and a half. So what is a memorable Christmas gift? Could be one you gave or one you got. Just what's something that stands out in your memory?
Good question, Paxton. Give us a minute here. I think I don't know if it was necessarily a gift, but I think 8 years old. I got to go to Texas and spend that Christmas break with my aunt and uncle, and that was the last winter that my uncle was alive. So it was thinking about it, that was a great gift. You guys have to pick fun ones now.
Well, I feel like my gifts are simple, but they're usually like pretty specific for the person. I got my little sister this year. She just turned 5. She has like a keychain obsession right now, and like she has a bunch of fun, cool keychains on her backpack. And right now, her favorite animal, it switches from month to month what her favorite animal is. But right now, her favorite animal is an owl. And on one of our trips to Texas, I got her an owl keychain, and she's gonna love it. And it's gonna be on her little princess backpack. So I think like it's not very like expensive, but she's gonna love it, you know. So I'd like to see her wearing that all the time.
My most memorable gift was probably the one that me and my siblings got from my mom last year. It was a pretty expensive gift, so we kind of had to save up and put all of our money together. But it was a necklace, and it has all of our names on it and all of our birthstones, and she really liked it, and it was just, it was really great giving it to her.